Explanation of the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. Norman Vincent Peale. The book, The Power of Positive Thinking, is one of the most famous and influential self-development books. It was written by Reverend Norman Vincent Peale in 1952 and revolves around the idea that faith and positive thinking can change a person's life for the better. The book is based on real stories, religious principles, and practical advice that helps the reader overcome difficulties and achieve success. Introduction to the book. Peale begins his book by emphasizing that positive thinking is not just empty optimism, but rather a lifestyle that promotes success and happiness. He points out that a person is able to overcome anxiety, failure, and frustration if he can reprogram his thoughts to be positive. The author presents a practical approach that helps the reader to 1. Get rid of negative thoughts that hinder success. 2. Boost self-confidence through positive affirmations. 3. Use faith and spirituality as a source of inner strength. 4. Achieve success in personal and professional life through specific methods. Chapter 1. Self-belief is the key to success. The author emphasizes that self-confidence is the first foundation for success and explains how anyone can enhance their belief in their abilities by using positive affirmations such as, I am capable of achieving success and I have everything I need to achieve my goals. Getting rid of fear and doubt through continuous training and perseverance. Remembering previous success stories to build a sense of strength and confidence. Practical example. Bill tells the story of a man who was afraid of public speaking, but he was able to overcome his fear by using mental exercises and repeating phrases such as, I am strong, I am confident daily until he became a successful speaker. Chapter 2. Peace of Mind and the Power of Calm. This chapter discusses the importance of inner calm and psychological peace in achieving happiness and success. Bill explains that a mind filled with anxiety and tension cannot think clearly and suggests several techniques to achieve peace of mind, such as practicing meditation and prayer to calm the mind. Looking for the positive aspects in every situation instead of focusing on the negatives. Organize time and reduce stress through good planning. Practical example. The author tells the story of a businessman who was suffering from tremendous pressure at work, but he started practicing meditation daily and reduced his stress level significantly, which made him more productive and happy. Chapter 3. How to create new energy. Bill explains that fatigue is not only physical, but also mental, and is often caused by negative thinking. He suggests several ways to recharge energy, including 1. Not giving in to feelings of fatigue and focusing on activity instead of fatigue. 2. Practicing physical activities such as walking and sports. 3. Deep and regular sleep to stimulate the body and mind. 4. Using self-motivation by repeating phrases such as, I am full of vitality and activity. I have enough energy to achieve my goals. Practical example. The author tells the story of a woman who was suffering from constant fatigue, but when she changed her way of thinking and began to expect activity instead of fatigue, she felt much better. Chapter 4. Expect the best to get the best. This chapter is based on the principle of what you think about happens to you, as Bill emphasizes that those who expect failure often face failure, and vice versa. Therefore, a person must always focus on success and positive results. Use positive imagination to see success before it happens. Reject negative thoughts as soon as they appear and replace them with positive thoughts. Belief that life always brings goodness, even in the most difficult circumstances. Practical example. The story of a man who feared failure in his work, but he began to imagine himself successful and repeated positive phrases, and found that his self-confidence increased, and he began to achieve amazing results. Chapter 5. How to get rid of anxiety. Bill provides practical strategies for dealing with anxiety, including thinking about solutions instead of focusing on problems, practicing relaxation and meditation to clear the mind. Avoid thinking about the worst-case scenarios, because most fears do not come true. Trusting in God and believing that things will work out for the best. Practical example. The author tells the story of a person who suffered from chronic anxiety due to financial concerns. But he began to change his way of thinking and focus on solutions instead of problems, and he found that his anxiety began to fade. Chapter 6. How to Make Others Like You. This chapter focuses on the power of positive thinking in building successful social relationships. Bill offers tips to enhance personal attractiveness, such as smiling constantly because it creates a positive impression, showing genuine interest in others and listening to them sincerely, avoiding constant criticism and speaking in a kind manner, using positive words in daily conversation. Practical example. A man was facing problems at work because of his negative style, but he began to speak positively and became more popular among his colleagues. Chapter 7. The Power of Faith in God in Achieving Success. Bill concludes his book by emphasizing that deep faith in God helps a person face life with confidence and calm. He encourages resorting to prayer and supplication when facing problems, relying on God and feeling inner security, believing that good is always on its way to us if we believe in it. Practical example. The writer tells the story of a person who was facing enormous challenges but resorted to prayer and worship and found that his fears vanished and his life began to gradually improve. The most important lessons learned from the book. 1. Your thoughts determine your destiny, so always focus on positive thinking. 2. Self-belief is the key to success in any field. 3. Anxiety and stress hinder progress, so they must be eliminated through relaxation techniques. 4. Success starts from within, and you must program your mind to achieve it. 5. Belief in God gives strength and inner peace to face life's challenges. Conclusion. The Power of Positive Thinking is an inspiring book that helps the reader develop his way of thinking and achieve success and happiness. With his practical and narrative style, Bill teaches us that positive thinking is not just a theory, but a way of life that can change everything. Inspiring stories from the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. Norman Vincent Peale. Norman Vincent Peale relies in his book on many real-life stories that illustrate how positive thinking can change a person's life. Here are some of the most prominent stories he mentioned. 1. The story of the man who regained his self-confidence and overcame failure. One of the people who consulted the writer was a man who lost his job and felt like a complete failure. He was pessimistic and believed that he would never be able to succeed again. Peale advised him to change his way of thinking and repeat positive phrases such as, "I am capable of achieving success and I will find the right opportunity." The man began repeating these phrases daily and became more optimistic. After a short period, he got a new job opportunity and succeeded in building a stronger career than he had imagined. Lesson learned. When you believe in your ability to succeed, you will find opportunities coming to you. 2. The story of the doctor who suffered from stress and anxiety. The writer tells the story of a successful doctor who suffered from constant anxiety, to the point that he began to lose his ability to focus on his work. He was always thinking about mistakes and potential risks. Bill advised him to practice prayer and meditation, to rely on God and trust that things would work out for the better. The doctor began to apply these tips, and over time he noticed that his stress began to decrease, his energy improved, and his work became more perfect. Lesson learned. Getting rid of anxiety comes from trusting God and inner calm. 3. The story of the businessman who was afraid of failure. A businessman was on the verge of bankruptcy, and he was terrified of failure. All his thoughts were focused on his losses, and he was sure that he would not be able to recover financially. Bill convinced him to change his way of thinking and focus on opportunities instead of problems. The man began to adopt the principle of expecting the best and began to see opportunities instead of risks. Within a few months, his project began to recover again, and he achieved success that he did not expect. Lesson learned. Expecting the best helps achieve it, while fear of failure leads to it. 4. The story of the woman who felt unloved. There was a woman who believed that she was unattractive and unloved, and she felt depressed and isolated. When she talked to Bill, he discovered that she was filling her mind with negative thoughts about herself. The writer advised her to start appreciating herself and dealing with others positively. She started by smiling at people, speaking in a kind manner, and stopping self-criticism. After a while, she noticed that people began to be more attracted to her, and she began to feel happy and confident. Lesson learned. The way you see yourself determines how others see you. 5. The story of the man who used prayer to overcome his problems. Bill tells the story of a man who was suffering from major problems in his personal and professional life. He was feeling distressed and hopeless, but he decided to resort to prayer and supplication. He used to repeat phrases daily such as, "I trust that God will lead me to the right solutions." As time went on, he began to feel better and found that things started to improve unexpectedly. Lesson learned. Faith and spirituality can be a source of strength in the most difficult times. Conclusion. These stories confirm that positive thinking is not just a theoretical idea, but a lifestyle that can completely change your life. Each character in these stories went through hardships, but changed their way of thinking and found that things started to improve significantly.